You're listening to episode 25 of the Bachelor podcast.
Welcome to the Bachelor podcast, a show about everything but nothing at the same time. Two guys that took jobs away from their families and living the Bachelor lifestyle.
All right. This is episode 25 of the Bachelor podcast. I'm joined here with Duane, and I don't even know where you're at.
I am in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona right now.
Phoenix. I was like, I think he said Arizona, but I don't know if he said New Mexico.
I left at about 3:30 this morning. It was 3 degrees in Kansas City. Landed in Phoenix, and it was 55. So in about two and a half hours, there was about 52-degree change.
Yeah. All right. As you guys probably know, we are on Instagram Live, so you can join in, add or ask some questions and stuff. And yes, you're on a work trip. That's somebody asked that. I saw.
Yeah, work trip, and that person is.
I know who it is now.
Okay.
I know exactly who it is, but all right, let's get this started with Would You Rather? Courtesy of one of my daughters. I can't remember which one said that. But would you rather put in hard work? This is kind of more for a sports team, and win or lose every game, or slack and win.
Well, my wife will say that I am a terrible loser. So
you would slack.
Would slack and win.
Yeah. Well, I would think that. I mean, I don't really care about winning. I was on a lot of losing teams growing up, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But yeah,
we got one vote for win.
I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, that's your favorite CrossFitter, right? The one that means the one that means the most to you.
Yeah.
But, all right. As you know, we are going to be talking about the Open.
We did have one vote for lose. They'd rather put in the hard work and lose.
Well, I mean,
we say that, but when I know this girl personally, and when she loses, she is not happy.
That is very, very true. I'm sure. I've seen her play too, and I've seen her reaction when it comes to losing. But she
acts like her daddy.
Yep, that's true. It's not my kid, by the way. All right, so we had 19.2 come out, announced. I didn't actually watch the regular feed. I watched a different feed through some YouTubers, and apparently you're not allowed to stream other YouTube channels, so it got cut off.
You can't stream a stream. You can't stream and then stream.
Yeah, so they cut it off, but essentially it's a 16.2 breakdown, which is it's just a whole bunch of reps and 25 toes to bar, 50 double unders, and starts out at 15 squat cleans at 135, and then it goes on down 185, 225, 275, and 315. And I actually didn't do this graded. I know I tried it. I can't do double unders. So
well, you missed a very important piece. So that first one, that last round of 13 for 185-pound squat cleans, you have to complete that in an 8-minute time frame.
Which
if you don't complete that, then the time's in that you get your points. If you get all that work done within that 8 minutes, you get to move on to the 11 squat cleans at 225. You have 4 minutes to complete that rep, and then an additional 4 minutes to do 275, and then the final one is 315. You have to stop at 20 minutes. So I did this one in Columbia at CrossFit Iron Wolf. That's how that was still going on before they switched over to CrossFit Fringe, and I got to the 185 squat cleans, and at the time, that was my max.
I figured that's where you got to. I was just guessing. Yeah, I didn't. I know I tried it, but I can't do double unders, so it's kind of pointless for me to do it. So I'd have to scale it. I don't.
Well,
So I'd be doing two at a time. So
yeah, I don't know. Double unders, I can do. I can rock them out pretty quick. I tell you, the worst part about that, besides the squat cleans, I mean, that takes you out of it, is the toes to bar.
yeah,
It really taxes you, cardiovascular, and I mean, it's a burner. It's a good workout. You know, this is the repeat. I don't. This probably won't see any more repeats this year. We got 3 more to go, and I'm pretty sure it won't be a repeat workout.
yeah. I saw the old boy that was live streaming this. He actually did singles and increased his by like 5 or 8 reps or something like that on the toes
Single
to bar.
toes to bar. Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen that movement.
yeah. He was doing the toes to bar, and then he turn around, let go of the bar, and then go the other way and do the next toes to bar. So I mean, if it works, it works. I guess toes to bars suck. I start out strong and then it goes off pretty quickly. So
Well, to back up a little bit, that 19.1. So, uh, my wife decided to do that for a workout in between her runs. So, we had a big run this weekend. We were supposed to run 12 and a half miles. So she did wall balls and bike because she didn't have a rower, and her legs were still smoked. She wasn't able to run the 12 miles because of the pain she was in from all the wall balls.
yeah.
So that one to sneak up on you, and I think a lot of all the opens, if you're not ready, they will demolish you. I mean, just flat kick your butt.
Well, I think it's funny how your wife managed to do this, but you didn't have time because you were training for a marathon. So I think that makes her more of a man than you or a woman.
She didn't do the workout. She did the bike. So all she did was murder herself on wall balls.
Well, I would say that the bike, I don't know, I think the bike would be more taxing than the rower
It's
personally.
just a regular. It's a regular stationary bike.
Oh, well, I
That's
mean, you're
it.
still working your legs, so but either way, that is how 19.2 breaks down. I mean, it's an all right workout. I mean, I'm gonna get 8 minutes of working out in because that's about as far as I'm going, and I'm not meaning by finishing it either. So I'll be lucky if I finish the probably the first round in 8 minutes.
I want to see you doing one arm double unders.
Yeah. Well, I actually did lift a little bit for the first time today, so that was interesting. I didn't do very heavy weight, but it 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 felt pretty good. So, anyways, so we have also opening weekend at Bennett Springs,
Yep.
March 1st. I was actually down there at the camper. I started seeing them come in. I'm like, surely these guys are not going to be fishing in this weather. And
Oh, they're dedicated, my
yeah,
friend. They are dedicated.
I came back Saturday and I saw them out there fishing. I drove through the park and stuff, and I was like, "You guys, this craziness!" And it was pretty full too.
Oh, every year, and and we kind of talk about this. We usually go down mid March, and we've been besides last year, we've been really lucky with the weather. It gets high 50s or 60s, and it's enjoyable, and the sun shines, and it's not too bad. But I haven't even started getting my gear ready yet.
Yeah, I have most of my gear ready, but of course change out the lures and stuff like that. But what kind of which we've actually never trout fished together. So what kind of setup do you have?
Well, I got just a light tackle, 2 pound test, um, fluger reel on a um, St. Croix rod, 6 foot. It's real light action. I mean, you can feel them bump the bottom. It's a good setup. Um, I'm not going to tell you what bait I use because I
I'm
don't want you to use it.
I'm not worried
So
about it. I'll outfish you any day. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you just got lucky last year. Speaking of which, fishing, did you see the old boy down on Taneycomo
no,
caught the new Missouri record brown trout?
no, I didn't.
It is a monster. It's
I don't
huge.
even know what the record would be. I would say over 7 pounds or not.
Oh, yeah. Uh,
I don't even
Go ahead.
know.
What's your setup?
So I don't have a fancy pole like you. I just bought a set down there at the tackle store, which had the reel and everything. And I used the 2 pound test. I can hear you typing like really loud. But and then for bait, I will tell you what I use. So there's different zones in Bennett Springs. You have and your buddy said that he likes to lasso his fish. By the way, I figured he's more like the dynamite type that throw it in there and go fishing. But
Whatever works.
so for bait, there's different zones. You have your dry flies, and then you have your artificial lures, and then you have your natural bait. Um, Zone 1, 2, and 3 there at Bennett Springs. And I fish in zone 2, so I use like marabous, glow balls. Always start out with a black and yellow. And that's how I'm going to catch my limit in 6 minutes while you're still trying to catch your first fish. And I've done that
But
before.
it's funny that we use the same bait because that's what I use, the black
So
and gold marabou.
I didn't know if you fished in zone 2 or not. So
Yeah, a majority of the time zone two. But so, what'd you say the record was, or what you thought it was?
uh, I've never heard anything over a 7 pound. So now I'm not saying that there isn't any, but
The catch last Saturday of a 34-pound, 10
oh,
ounce brown
Jesus,
trout,
that's ridiculous. And
which
yeah, I've heard of people catching them 7 pounds here. So I figured that there's probably bigger ones that I don't even know about. So
that is a monster.
that is a pretty good size. I mean, what I think I did I have a 3 pound? I don't know what I got this last time,
You
but
didn't get a lunker.
it was a 3 pound. I got two lunkers this year, so don't even lie. I think it was 3 pounds, so it was a pretty good sized fish in itself. And then my daughter got lunker as well. But I also use waders occasionally. I don't know if you've ever tried that or not.
Yeah, normally when I fish with waders. I don't go to the bridge where you fish, where everyone cleans their fish and all the guts are there,
That
so all the fish are swarming.
that's the
I don't
best.
usually go
That's the
there.
best place to
Yeah.
fish. Put on a little red and white lure. Be catching them all
Let it
days.
sink to the bottom and just jerk it on the bottom.
Hey, it works. As long as you're not snagging them, it's illegal. But yeah, I we clean our fish there. Michelle is definitely the fish cleaner of the group, so she can knock them out, and she on average she cleans anywhere from 20 to sometimes up to 40 fish a day.
You
So
know, we've caught our limits, and I like to keep four, and we usually try to eat them. But I have not found a good way to cook them that make them taste good because once they get released there, unless you've got one that's been in the water for a while, their skin or their meat is real white. They
yeah,
taste like dog food because basically that's what they're eating. You got lucky last year; you caught a couple that were pretty pink.
yeah. They were parts salmon. So
No, they were not parts. That was the natural color of their skin. They've been eating crawfish. That's what they were eating.
but yeah, I lucked out on Women's Fishing Day. That was like one of our first episodes, I think.
I
that was
think
a
it
good.
was Landon dominated Women Fishing Day or something like that.
Hey, people's got to dominate. But do you ever fish with like a bobber or anything like that, or strike indicator, or however? I mean, they're kind of light fish, so they're not.
The only time I've actually fished with a strike indicator was when I was actually using a fly rod.
Yeah,
Um, and even then, I didn't use them for very long because it just seemed like it did too much to the lure itself.
yeah, but
So,
they are lightweight lures.
yeah. But I know a lot of people do it, and I've seen guys go down there that, man, they just it's every cast and it's a fish on the line with a fly rod. I've not mastered that technique yet.
Well, you can watch me do it. I'll probably take off a day so that way you can see me do it.
Oh,
But
you're gonna fly fish?
huh?
You're gonna fly fish?
No, I don't fly fish.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just regular reel.
No, fly
Oh,
fishing, fool.
I'll do that too. Just give
Yeah,
me a few
I'm
days
kidding.
to learn. But anyways, so while you're sitting there in nice Arizona, I'm still camping down at the
You don't
camper.
look like you're camping right now.
Well, I'm off today. Mondays we're off. But and it was cold, let me tell you. I even went back Saturday night and stayed the night at the camper was right when it really dropped. But it was freezing and my heat to no fill has never went off at like 7 o'clock at night. It always goes off at like 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And
Schnucks.
it's so I went out to change it, and as you
Oh,
said before,
I thought you weren't going to go change it. You were just going to muscle through that. You didn't need that
it
propane
if
heater.
it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning, which I don't even know why I go change it because I end up waking up. I never go back to bed after I do that. So I took a step out. Mind you, I still have one bum arm. I slid, fell back, smashed my like ankle, which I'm only wearing like hoodie and pants, and or not even pants, shorts and my tennis shoes with no socks on, so they're not exactly the best traction. Anyways, I didn't realize that there was going to be a sheet of ice on those steps, so I about killed myself. It was
I
a bad deal.
see. I warned you about this, and your comment was it's going to be a mild winter.
Well, it was up until like this last month. So,
No, you
but
just you've been away from the camp for so long, you don't know what cold is.
it has been 3 weeks. Did you see your buddy's comment on how he catches his fish at Schnucks?
Yeah,
That's
that's
definitely
still a good fish. You can't
it's
blame him for that.
it's probably better than that dog food trout they'd that we eat.
I doubt it. They're probably farm fed too. That's what they're eating is dog food.
So probably. But so you've been training, right? Did you get it running in this nice weather or
So yesterday was supposed to be our 12 and a half mile run. And for those of you that are listening to this that aren't from Missouri, it we got a lot of snow in the morning, for the most part, and the temperature was in the teens and didn't really get much higher than that. So my wife's like, "Hey, you're going to Arizona. You might as well just put your run off to today."
yeah.
So I'm like, so I got on the plane at about 5 o'clock this morning, flew out here, got some breakfast, went to my favorite store, got some. It's a belt to carry water because at home I don't have to worry about it so much. It's not so hot and I don't hydrate as much. But I was running. I thought, well, I better take some water.
Yeah.
So I took off on this trail and talked to some locals. And it really wasn't a running trail. It was all rock, like sharp rock. So you had to place your steps, pretty gingerly. So the pace wasn't as my normal pace, but I got to about 5 miles and I ended up on this hardball path. I'm like, well, crap, where's the trail gone? So I took off running and end up running all the way back around, and I got into town. And then I started seeing the roads that I'd been driving on to get to this place. So I just weaved through some neighborhoods and ended up back at my start point. But I was at like a little over 7.5 miles. So I went back on the trail. I'm like, well, I'll just run, till about 10 miles, turn around and run back. So that's what I did. I got to the 10-mile mark. A lot of elevation, a lot more than what's in Moberly. And I'm following the signs. I hit my 12 and a half, and I'm like, man, I should be back at the car. And luckily, before I left, I'd sent Aaron, I'm like, hey, this is where I'm starting at in case something happens, like a puma attacks me or something. I'm like, so you know where I'm at. Well, I look at that start, and I'm like, it's on the other side of a mountain. So it ended up being a little over, or just shy of 3/4 of a mile that I had to walk back to get to my car. But
That's not too bad. 3/4 mile. Nice cool down.
now, if I hadn't had that water to go on this, I would have been hurting because I filled up and one time in the middle of the route, And by the time I got back, I tapped out both my bottles.
Yeah.
I could go for Boatown Brewing myself,
Um,
JC. So
I
I'm with
actually
you.
picked up some mead uh, just the other day. I know he doesn't probably like the mead, but
The old
I
Gandy Dancer,
the old Gandy Dancer. I got I think it's 1.89 liters, whatever that is. I think it's a big
32
bottle.
ounces.
No,
Oh, you got the big one, 64 ounces.
yeah, probably. So I got two of those. I already drank one of them, and then I realized I probably need to get back on my diet. So I'm saving that other one for later.
Well, you're gonna have to tell the folks where you got this at, that because you didn't get it at Boatown Brewing.
No, I actually went to the place that makes it. It's Leaky Roof Meadery there in Buffalo, Missouri, I think. And it's on the way back from work. It's about the same way or same time distance. Either way, it's a little bit longer. So I made two stops there in the last week. So,
Well, I got a funny story about Buffalo, Missouri.
oh yeah,
So I was helping a guy out. He had left. He'd worked in Moberly, and he was getting ready to go somewhere before he was coming back to Moberly. So I'm like, hey, can you pick up some gear for me and bring it down your way when you go down to Bennett Springs to fish? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll meet you in Buffalo, which that's about 30 miles from
yeah.
Buffalo to. And oh, Special K completely screwed up and drove all the way to Bennett Springs. I sat there for a good hour waiting for him to show up, and he finally calls. He's like, "Where are you at?" And I told him, "I'm like, I'm at this gas station." He goes, "Well, I'm at the entrance to the park." I'm like, what are you doing? So he drug his wife all the way over there, and she was not happy with him. So I don't think he's allowed to navigate anymore.
No, that's probably true. He's been kind of absent from work. I don't know. For a minute there, I thought he had surgery on his shoulder or something. He was out for so long. He was only out for 2 days, but I like to give him crap about it. I was like, "Where have you been?" But I saw him this weekend. So yeah, that that with the exception of the camper and stuff like that, I mean, what about 3 weeks you'll be down at Bennett, maybe, give or take.
Yeah, the kids are going to be on spring break, and if the weather's decent that weekend, we can get out and go camp a little bit. We'll be down there for a few days and uh, see if we can't catch some fish.
Well, if you stick by me, I'll try to help you out as much as possible. So we'll see what we can do.
I'm pretty sure I don't need you to hold my hand, sweetheart.
Yeah. Also, on an interesting note, so I put up my house for sale. I think I mentioned that I was listing my house last podcast episode, by the way. And I sold it in 2 days so far. I mean, as far as everything else goes on, they had the inspection and stuff like that. But now I'm worried about trying to find a house. You got any houses? Can I room with you?
You got a house.
Well, actually, I have a house. The kids don't have a house, which I guess as long as I have a house, I should be good, right?
I mean, if they like Lebanon.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not living in that camper with me. There's not enough room in that camper.
Well,
But
you bought the camper for your family, so there's enough room. There's four
no,
of you.
I bought the camper so I can geobatch. My wife bought the camper so she could have a camper down in Bennett Springs. There's two totally different thought processes going into that. I've never seen her say yes so quickly to anything in the whole world. Usually, when she's spending money, she likes to keep it minimal. She heard camper, she was all in. But yeah, that definitely was a quick movement. So I don't know. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll play by ear. But do you have anything else to add?
I know last podcast I said I was going to post that book, so I'll get that posted up probably here in the next couple of days because I'll finish it. Again, funniest comment, you'll get the book and let us know what you think.
Well, I know somebody that's not going to be funny, and that's your favorite CrossFitter. He thinks he's a lot funnier than what he is. But also, I'm moving to Jeff City, by the way, and yes, that is a nice ceiling fan. But other than that, I mean, I think we're pretty much done here. Again, please vote on our road podcast. I linked it to the last description of the podcast. So if you scroll up on the show notes and stuff like that, you can see the link there. It's at my roadcast, and type in Geo Bachelors, and you can find us and vote. Maybe we can get some better microphones. Who knows? But
Yeah, I mean, if you like us and you like what we're doing, please vote. We're not, if you don't like us, don't vote. Go vote for someone else that you think that needs it. It's fine.
no, don't do that. You're a horrible salesman. But,
I'm just being honest. So
Yeah.
you're right. I probably am a horrible salesman.
so that on socials, we got Instagram. We are on the Geo Bachelors. Still waiting on that website. I haven't heard anything more from our editor in chief. So maybe I
Yep.
might have to send her a text.
She just launched another website today, so that's been her focus.
I don't. I really think her priorities are messed up here. She needs to care more about our podcast, not her job. So,
Well, the more you say stuff like that, the less time she's going to spend on our stuff.
okay, well, it's going up as is then with the
No.
bios. And let me tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, our bios are about spot on if I've ever seen any bios. So.
You better not post that website. That's all I'm saying.
Are we going to be through?
We will be through.
We will be through. No more Geo Bachelors. That's all right. I'll start my own.
It'll be the Geo Bachelor.
And that'll be me.
Guess who owns both of them?
Huh?
This guy.
I can come up with a new one. I will. I'll figure it out on myself. But yeah, follow us on socials. Hope you have a fun time out there in New Mexico or Arizona, wherever you are. I don't really care. I do need to start listening to you more because I actually finally listened to the podcast. I'm like, oh crap, he's going to be gone next week. And I know you were right there when I said it, but I forgot. So
Well, that doesn't surprise me because you put number one first, and that's all you care about.
that's the narcissist in me. All right. So ready? Out?
Out.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Ready? Out.
See ya.